Hey guys, welcome to Get It Done with Gabby. This is our first marathon clean for Vlogmas. So, I don't know if I have explained this plan to you guys or not yet because I am filming this way in advance. But the plan is for every Monday post that I would normally do, I'm going to be posting a marathon clean. So we are going to start off with the Hoarder House series that I did a few months ago. I think if you look at my playlists, I'll link it, of course, if you want to watch it episode by episode. But it is the Depression House clean series. So I basically compiled all that footage into a very quick 2-hour long marathon clean. So you guys can clean right along with me if you just want some chill background music, or you can just relax and watch me clean for 2 hours. So if you are new to the channel and enjoy extreme deep clean content, I would love it if you would consider subscribing, and let's jump into this marathon deep clean. Alrighty guys, so we're just gonna start out with the clips of the house just so you have kind of an idea and overview of what we're gonna be working with. So this is the bedroom area, and we'll be working on the bedroom probably second or third episode that you guys see, but we are going to be starting out in the bathroom. So that's what you guys are going to be seeing next. Now, unfortunately, my camera did not do this bathroom justice. It doesn't look that bad, quite honestly, but it was bad. It had years and years of buildup in the showers. The floors were covered in like cigarette ash and dirt and cat stuff, and it was just not good. But here we're looking at the closets. There are 2 closets in this room. Neither of them were terribly full, but they definitely needed cleaning out. And now we're out in the main living area. So this is actually the space that Matt and I helped out with last time. So it's not like super full of things, but it is just dirty. It's really dirty again, and some of the things we moved around are still exactly where we left them, and they were supposed to go through stuff, and they didn't. So, you know, things are... Oh, and this was sad because we had cleaned this whole pantry out as well, but it was back to being full again, and Matt spent hours and hours and hours cleaning this kitchen for them, and it is back to no good. So we're definitely looking to find a new system, and as I stated before, I'm hoping that if I just like come over once a week and get everything like back to tip-top shape, that will help with the motivation situation. But let's just jump straight into doing the bathroom. My first order of business was to just like clear everything off. So I had a little workspace because I wanted to use the bathroom as my workspace for all my cleaning supplies. So first things first, take everything out. Something else I want to mention about the time-consuming process of doing this house is that I intend to fully wash all of the ceilings and all of the walls. If you saw in those earlier before clips, the house is covered in cigarette butts. They smoke inside and throw the cigarette butts just wherever they land. So The ceilings and the walls just have years of cigarette smoke, tar buildup all over them, and the house smells. It smells pretty awful, and there's really no way to convey that to you guys other than to just let you imagine what's going on. But yeah, that was definitely an added step to this whole process, is cleaning off all the ceilings and walls, because I really ideally would like to get the smell out. I don't know if it's possible, but I know for sure the only way that there's a chance is if I clean off all the walls and ceilings. And as I go through this, hopefully I can show you guys closely enough, but like yellowish brown stuff was wiping off the walls as I was cleaning all this, so there's definitely some pretty intense buildup going on in here. And something else that I would like to mention for this whole bathroom process is that I didn't show it each time because I figured it'd get pretty repetitive and boring, but my process was to hit everything with the Clorox bleach cleaner stuff and scrub that around, and then hit it with some Mr. Clean like all-purpose mix that I have in that little random mixing bottle thing. So that was kind of my process. I would do one layer of the bleach cleaner and then one layer of the all-purpose cleaner just to like make sure that everything was double cleaned and good to go. If you guys have any questions about anything, definitely let me know in the comments and I will happily answer those in the next episode. So if you're looking for some cleaning motivation, hopefully this will get you going in the right direction. one thing I forgot to mention in episode 1 was that the person that lives here has been working with me while I'm doing all of this to organize everything that I'm pulling out of all of these locations. So they are going through deciding what's trash, what needs to be decluttered, all of that sort of stuff. So I'm not on my own in all of this because I can't make decisions about another person's belongings. So obviously they kind of have to be there to help me decide what needs to stay and what needs to go. So just keep that in mind. They are helping in all of this. Also, as I'm working through all of this, I've decided that I'm not going to super focus on the organizational aspect right now. I feel like we can come to that once everything is clean. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to get too hung up on organization when we obviously have a much bigger problem going on. So I think my plan is to just do like, obviously clean absolutely everything, do like a general organization, but then maybe after we've gone through the entire house and cleaned absolutely everything, maybe then we can readdress the organization, what's working, what's not working, and get some better systems in place. Because obviously organization is important so that this never happens again. We want to make it as easy as possible for this person to maintain and keep things organized, and that's kind of been a big problem. Obviously, things got pretty out of hand. So I guess my main point is, first, we will clean everything, then we will declutter things, and then we will do a general organization to be followed up later with a more specific organization that will work the best for this person. Okay, so the first closet is basically done. We have more things to put in it later, but for now it is clean and good to go. So it is time to move on to the second closet. This is the closet that's in the main area of the bedroom, so it's seen a lot more action and has a lot more stuff to go through and definitely a lot more cleaning. I don't think I talked about this in episode 1, but there are 2 cats in this house and they have taken it upon themselves to mark all over it, as well as pee and poop everywhere they're not supposed to be. So That is a smell we are competing with in this house as well. If you can imagine the cigarette smell and the cat smell is pretty intense, which is why I'm going so deeply into these locations and trying to clean absolutely everything because there's just bad smell everywhere. So, in this closet, there is a section on the other half where the cats marked all over the walls and clearly decided that was their little area to do business. So, I'll be spending a little extra time over there, but this side has this really busted dresser, and I talked to the owner about it, and we decided to throw it away because they weren't using it because it doesn't function. So that's just another organizational issue. Why have a piece of furniture that is not serving you? Matt and I went out and tried to find them a replacement dresser, and unfortunately had no luck with that, but we did find a temporary solution, which you will see a bit later. We took another piece of furniture in their room and moved it into this area. So we kind of found a workaround for now until, as I stated before, we can go back and find some more permanent organizational solutions. Alrighty, so I got that dresser pulled out of there. I took all the drawers to the dumpster, but I could not manage to get the dresser pulled out, so Matt is going to help me with that next time he comes to assist, but it is out of there, so I can finish cleaning this little area. are working on the bedroom today. This was probably one of the worst spots in this whole apartment. So if you guys are new to the channel and haven't been watching this series yet, this is episode 3 of my hoarder house depression mess cleanup series. I am working to help this person get their house in order. Things got pretty out of control. As I've stated in previous videos, depression was certainly a factor in things getting this bad, and I kind of want to help them get a fresh start, clean slate, all of that. So I am going through every inch of this entire house, top to bottom, and I do mean top to bottom. I am cleaning the ceilings and the walls as well. I haven't yet extracted the carpets in this series simply because I have done this for them before. Matt and I had gone over there a couple of times before I started filming. I think we did it last year sometime to try to help get things under control, but we didn't have a lot of time and it was definitely a half measure, and I had extracted the carpets that time, and as you have seen in the before clips, when I came back this time, it was ruined again. There were cigarette butts absolutely everywhere, covering the floors, and I basically told them that if they could maintain what we did this time, then I would happily extract their carpets again, but I want some sort of accountability before I do that. So suffice to say, for the smell, the carpets are going to be a problem until I can extract those again. And keep in mind, the cats have been marking and pooping and peeing on the carpets as well, so they certainly need to be cleaned again at some point, but I'm going to save that to the very, very end. And I have been really pleased so far with the maintenance of what we've done with the bathroom, and after finishing this bedroom, they've been doing a really great job of keeping things clean. So I feel hopeful. And I really want to believe that this is going to make a difference for them and, I don't know, help them out in the long run. So in the last video, I mentioned that the person who lives here has been helping me go through all of their stuff because I obviously cannot decide what is a keep and what is a throwaway situation because it's their stuff. So what I did for the bedroom is everything that was not apparently trash, I was just setting on the bed so that they could work through that as I was cleaning. So it kind of made things, it kind of expedited things. I don't know if you guys can see that like buildup coming off of the ceiling. I don't know if you can see that line, but that was so crazy to me when I started wiping it off, and I could just like see such a defined line of like all of that smoke buildup on the ceiling. This has got to help. Once I do this through the entire house, I really, really hope it makes a difference with the smell, because this is some neck-breaking work. Looking up at the ceiling all day, I was so sore when I came home, but hopefully it's all worth it. Another issue I have been battling is all of the cat markings and peeing all over the baseboards. It's pretty much everywhere. There are like very few spots on the top of that baseboard line that are not yellow, and it has been driving me crazy. There is just one cleaner that I have found so far that is mostly bleach based that has been like, I don't know, bleaching it back to a whitish color, but it is so hard for me to let that go because like no amount of scrubbing can get it off. It's like permanently stained the baseboards, but like I said, at least I have that Clorox bleach cleaner stuff to try and get it off, but I have tried everything, every possible cleaner that I have found. Even my magic OxyClean stuff won't get it off, but yes, highly recommend that Clorox bleach cleaner if you have super stubborn stains and you are able to, bleach it back to white.
best, even though I'm so stressed out. Everything just feels like a test that I fail, so depressed when I can't seem to get out. But something deep inside won't let me quit. I swear that I'm inspired by all this shit. Tell me that I can and I won't, that's what guides me the most. Your lies, I'll do what I want. I'm inspired by thirst, I'm inspired by worth. I desire your worst, so you can just hide while I work. I ain't tired, you first. I'll write a second, third verse about the lies you go disperse. You never did shit, I know it hurts. But something deep inside won't let me quit. I swear that I'm inspired by all this shit. Tell me that I can and I won't, that's what guides me the most. Your lies, I'll do what I want.
Okay, so if you saw the last video, this is the view of looking into the bedroom. So we did the bedroom last, and now I'm working my way out. So this is the outside of the door, which clearly has seen some sort of action. Super gross. And then this is the doorway to their roommate's room, also seen some action. So we are going to start by cleaning up this hallway, and then we will be moving on to the living room, which admittedly would be in worse condition if I hadn't already worked on this like last year sometime, but it's in pretty bad condition even since then, so a lot of work to do in here. As you can see, the cats, they live in a dirty space, so they pretty much do their business wherever they feel like doing it. So definitely a lot of cat-related business to clean up, and they seem to have had their way with these window blinds as well. Oh, and the other thing I wanted to talk about, because I cannot describe the awful smell of this. So this little tile area by the fireplace, like, was pee central for the cats. That, like, dark orangey brown stuff is hardened cat urine. Like, when I sprayed this with cleaner, I cannot describe the smell that was emitted from that area. So I definitely went over that spot a fair few times, and then I will go over it again on future days because I just wanted that whole area fully sanitized. So something that I learned from the very first video when I worked on the bathroom, well, a mistake I made, was that in my head, I wanted to work top down, right? So everything dirty that was getting cleaned from above would fall into the floor. What I learned was that if you leave the floors really super disgusting, then that all just gets wet, and then it's a disgusting wet mess. So I took it upon myself to switch up my method a little bit and at least, like, bare minimum, sweep up the floors first. So at least, like, the big gross chunks weren't getting soaking wet when I was working in the ceilings. And that seemed to work out a lot better for me. So that is why you'll see me throughout this hallway and the living room sweep up the floors first. It's just kind of a preemptive measure to keep the floors from getting any more disgusting than they already are. So as you can see, this little vent area is absolutely disgusting. And as I started to like scrub on it, I realized it would be much more productive if I just removed it and scrubbed it off in the bathtub. So I went ahead and did that off camera, but you will see the beautiful transformation of this little vent after all the grossness has been cleaned off. Alrighty guys, here's a little mid video before and after of the hallway. Just cleaning up this small little area made such a huge difference. It made the hallway seem so much less stuffy and disgusting. It like opened up the whole area and made it feel so much nicer and so much bigger. It's wonderful. And it was super nice to get all of the cat marking pee off of that door. So far, I have not noticed the cat's marking on anything that I have cleaned, so that does leave me with some hope. However, they have decided that they still want to like poop right outside of their litter box. I don't know what that's about, but we're trying to figure out that problem. But as for the hallway, it is beautiful now. And that vent cover, oh my gosh, transformation. And now we are officially onto the living room area. My first order of business was to just literally move absolutely everything out of there, except for the couch. I didn't want to fully remove the couch because it's kind of a big piece of business over there, but I did end up sliding it across the room so I could get at the floor that was underneath it. Special surprises under there that you guys will see a bit later. So, as I said before, I have cleaned this room like last year sometime. And I did wipe down all the walls then, but I decided to go ahead and just go over them one more time just to like have a brand new fresh start for everything. But I could definitely tell I'd done this before because the walls in this particular space were not nearly as dirty as the rest of the areas. Can't remember if I mentioned this in the bedroom video, but I have been skipping over the blinds. I cleaned the blinds in the living room last time I was over here, but they just take a really long time to like wipe down each individual blind piece. So I'm holding off to the very end to do that because I just want to like see some major changes, and you know, spending an hour cleaning blinds isn't exactly like top priority. So I left the blinds in the bedroom alone. I'm going to leave these blinds alone as well. And also, I don't know if I mentioned this in the bedroom video, but I am not cleaning the outside areas, especially because it's over 100 degrees every day. And apparently there are just like tons of spiders and wasp nests out there. So we're just going to go ahead and skip that area, and then we can deal with that in the fall when it cools off a little bit, because I'm not going out there with the bees. It's not happening. I randomly had to get the vacuum out while I was mopping because there was so much cat fur that was like all hardened into the cat pee that was on the ground that when I started mopping, it was just getting everywhere. So once I got it unstuck off the floor, then I just decided to quickly vacuum all of those hair chunks up before I kept mopping, because it's kind of hard to mop with that much hair on the ground. Alrighty, it is officially time for those before and after shots. Now we're on to the pantry. Gotta get this all emptied out before the washer and dryer can come in here. So what I noticed was that a lot of this was just empty boxes. Just a lot of empty, I don't know, boxes of everything, as you can see. But it wasn't actually too much trash. It was just a lot of recycle stuff. And then these boxes were originally for dishes being stored, but unfortunately they were kind of rotted out on the bottom. So I pulled out all the dishware and put them on the pantry wall, just so we could get rid of these boxes and then replace those boxes with ones that are in better condition. Okay guys, they're in! Yay! Matt is headed to go pick up some like dryer connector stuff. So we don't have all the connectors, and we need washer cleaner because these guys are stinky. So anyway, we're part of the way there. At least they're here. So laundry will be happening here soon. Okay, here's the area I want to work on today. This particular section has never been worked on before. I don't know what I'm going to do about the blinds. These kind of blinds are so hard to clean. The cats have been messing with them. Like, Ugh, I don't know what to do about these. I'm gonna have to think about it. I haven't done any of the other blinds, so I'll probably just leave these for now and do the blinds at the very end since I don't really know what to do about them. But anyway, this is the section I'll be trying to knock out. Quick. This is why I freaking love this cleaner and bleach stuff. I'm assuming it's mostly just bleach spray, but okay, so the cats have marked pretty much on every inch, every surface of this trim, but this is the only thing that will bleach it out. Like, it's not perfect, but it's starting to work. So I just spray it on there and it freaking takes like a layer of the yellow off. So I love that stuff because at least it makes it like visually a little bit better. And I would hope that like the bleach spray would like take their little scent out of the board so they stop doing it. Speaking of, hello. Are you the culprit here? Are you the culprit? Are you marking everything? You're cute, but you're nasty. That's okay. I'll give you clean home and then hopefully you stop doing the nasty business. Yeah? So like I said earlier, Matt came over to help install the washer and dryer and then had to go run and get the connector cables for everything. We had some issues with the connectors. The dryer plug in the apartment is very old and very strange, so they had to order an adapter for the plug that was on the actual dryer because it did not match up with the plug in the wall. So we're waiting on that still. So it's going to be a while before the washer and dryer are actually like functional, but we're working on it. We will get it done ASAP. guys, here's where we're at for today. I got the table and the chairs all cleaned, as you saw. Got those moved there. That's probably not a permanent solution, but right now, that's what we're working with. Ignore all my cleaning supplies. They're just chilling right now. All we did here was just do like the first round on the floor, just so we're not like tracking things around into the bedroom and into this area. Like, I just wanted the floor at least done over once. Like, it's not super clean or anything, but at least the big chunks are gone, so those aren't going to be moving around. So this is our new problem. Obviously, I just cleaned this room and then just fully cluttered it up with all of this stuff. This is everything that we need to go through and organize. It's a lot, but it is out of the main walkway now. So at least you can come in the door and walk straight into the house and not have anything in your way. So that was my main goal, and I feel like we're looking pretty good. All right, guys, here's what we're working on today. It seems like there's less stuff. I feel like they picked up all the trash that was laying on top of everything, so that's good. But as you can see, there's like a lot of dishes. Alright, this area is officially cleaned off, and now it is time to address the dishes. The dishwasher is empty, so if I can find dishwasher detergent stuff, I'm gonna load it with as much of this as I can and get that going, and then hand wash the rest of this. So that is our next step. So one thing I wanted to mention while you watch me do a ridiculous amount of dishes is that these sinks were so freaking tiny, like almost unusably tiny. The function of these sinks is not great. Not great, especially for the amount of dishes I needed to do. Like, I didn't even feel like it was worth filling up one side of the sink with soapy water to wash them because there wasn't enough space to, like, work and rinse and scrub all at the same time. So I ended up just doing one dish at a time. It was tedious. It took a really, really long time, but I really just didn't see a more productive way to use the space because even doing one dish at a time, like the drying process was crazy because every single dish in their house was dirty. So I ended up like laying a towel on the floor and like stacking them there to try and dry because there's no room to put them all. It was a lot. All right, we just finished our second bucket. So we've got the mega one left, but I'm gonna clean all those off camera because I can't imagine you want to watch me do dishes for an hour. So I'm gonna go do those as quickly as possible, and then I think we will get started on the other side. everything is clean except for that. But I have a sink full of silverware and everything else has been washed. Now we just got to figure out where we're putting everything. All right, final look for the day when you walk in the door. Kitchen is clean. All of this is still clean. We still have to work on the organizational section over here, but a lot of things to get done before we address that. But as it stands, I'm super happy with how things look right now. Alrighty guys, really great news when I walked in the door. The kitchen is actually in really good shape. A lot of the stuff in that front area are all my cleaning supplies, but there were no dirty dishes. I was so happy. But big mission for today, we're cleaning out this pantry. It's not too terribly bad, it's just kind of like cluttery and obviously needs a good cleaning. So this should be pretty simple, but still gotta get it done. Alrighty, so this is all the stuff that was in the pantry that did not need to be in the pantry. So I'm going to wash up all these dishes and make sure they are fresh and good to go. And then we are going to start working on wiping down all the rest of the stuff in the kitchen that we didn't get to. So cabinets, I glanced up at these lights and there is like splatter all over them. So we're going to wipe down these lights and then we are going to get into the fridge. The fridge is pretty unfortunate location. This is one of those spaces that we had worked on last year with them, and it was so much worse. These little black dots that you're going to see everywhere are dead bugs. I think they're fruit flies or something like that. I don't know if you can see them that well, but last year basically everything in their fridge had gone to rot, and so there were a bunch of just dead and alive bugs living in there. It's not as bad as it was before, but there are still dead bugs in there. So, oh, and there's whatever that is by the side of the fridge. So I am going to try and pull the fridge out and get that all cleaned up. But yeah, the fridge is definitely a spot that needs to be maintained a little better. You know there's a problem if there's a bunch of dead bugs in there. So we're going to clean that up for them, and hopefully we can keep that from happening again. So I was a little disappointed about how these light covers came out. They were so caked on with the grease. Literally, the regular soap that I was using was basically having no impact. It did like a generalized clean, and I went over them twice and scrubbed really hard to try and get it off, but this needs some like legitimate degreaser. So I might go back for these at some point. I did not have any degreaser with me, but the ceiling definitely needs the degreaser. So might come back for these at some other point, but I did the best I could with what I had. So this broken fridge shelf was giving me such a hard time. As you saw, I put like a bunch of different things under those drawers to try and prop it up and support it. I think what I did will work for now, but I don't know what to do about that broken shelf. There's like no good way to deal with it. But for now, that will do, and I'm so glad all of those nasty little bugs are out of the fridge. So I decided to go ahead and work on this little entryway area. This is the last section of ceiling I have. This little front room area, and then it goes all the way over to the bar area. But that's the last little bit of ceiling that I have to clean in this whole main room. So I just kind of wanted to get it out of the way and get it done. And also that front door has been driving me crazy. It's so grimy, and not to mention, this is where the cats spent most of their time peeing and marking. There used to be a floor mat right inside the door. I took that home with me one day to see if I could get it clean. Like I sprayed it off with a hose a ton. I used carpet cleaner with pet odor remover, everything, but that thing was so soaked with cat urine, there's literally no way. I talked to the owner about it and I was like, hey, listen, I did my absolute best to clean that for you. If you are really dead set on keeping it, it needs to be outside. Like, you can't bring it back into the house because they're just going to keep peeing on it. So he said to go ahead and get rid of it because he didn't want to put it outside. So unfortunately, we did not save the floor mat, but that is all right. I think this will be best for the cats. As you can see, that whole bottom area is just completely yellow. I spent a long time trying to get that out of there. I went in with my regular cleaner. I went in with the bleach cleaner. I went in with the bleach cleaner like 2 or 3 times, I think, and in the end it actually worked out really great. So I'm hoping that will keep the cats away from the front door, but time will tell. So my very last task for the day was to pack away all of their dishes. This was a request made by them in the hopes that they can maintain the kitchen a little easier. They just want to have all their dishes put away except for one set so that they are basically forced into having to keep that one set of dishes clean, which I think it's a good start. I think it's a great idea, and I really hope it works for them. So we're packing all of these spare dishes away. I'm not taking them anywhere. I'm just going to store them in the pantry, but I'm going to tape those boxes up real well so they really have to want it if they're going to get in into these boxes. So hopefully that helps them. I'm really glad it was their idea to try this because it obviously shows that they are motivated and they want to keep things in better condition. And if this is the way that they want to try and do it, then absolutely, we will try anything that you want to try. So we are just going to get these boxes taped up and put away. If you guys are new to the channel and enjoy this deep cleaning content, definitely consider subscribing. I would love to have you join the channel. Definitely more to come. And thank you so much to all of you who have subscribed and are growing this channel. It is growing so quickly. It is absolutely blowing my mind. Thank you again. All right, let's do some before and afters. All right, well, here is what we are dealing with today. We're going to go through all of these, and in this closet by the front door, I got to pull all of this out too. So first I'm going to clean up the cat pee because I don't want to be walking over that all day, but then we will pull all of this out. Oh, also, a lot of you guys have been asking what's in my pump sprayer, and I keep forgetting to answer you. This, Mr. Clean. Mr. Clean Antibacterial Summer Citrus. I just do like this much into the bottom of the pump sprayer and then fill the rest up with water. Pretty basic all-purpose cleaner situation, but yeah, that's what's in there. Okay, let's clean up some cat stuff. Whew, there is a dead lizard in here. I don't know, I can't really see what's up here. But, yep, there are spider webs galore in here. But, yep, I'm gonna go ahead and clean this out quick before we start organizing because they're still not home yet, so they're at work. So I'm just waiting for the owners to get home. So I'm gonna clean this out real quick, and then we will have a space for storage. closet is cleaned out. So now we're just gonna start going through all these boxes. I'm gonna start working while I wait for them to get home and just kind of like try and do piles of like items, or like try and collect all the mail and put that in a pile. Something that I can do because I can't differentiate whose belongings are whose. So just gonna see what I can. So one of the methods I decided to go with for these boxes so we could go through them a little quicker, and not worry about camera angles and all that jazz was I decided to empty all the boxes onto this table with you guys, and then while I moved on to some organizational stuff, they could go through all the stuff that I was setting out on the table. So while I was going through the boxes, I pulled out trash and all that other stuff that just needed to be thrown away. But everything else that I wasn't sure about, I just laid out on the table. And then while they went through that, we moved on to organization type stuff, which seemed to work out pretty good. So now we are officially at the point where the roommates' things are separated, and my plan is to just take this whole pile of their roommate stuff and store it in the closet so they know where all of their extra stuff is. They don't have to worry about sorting through anything to find stuff. All of the roommate stuff is just in one location. It's mostly tools, so that made things a lot easier too, but that is all stored in this closet by the front door. Also, as you guys have seen, the person I'm working with has the master bedroom, and they have a couple closets, so we have a lot more storage space to work with in their personal room, so it's much easier to store their stuff in their closets and just put their roommate stuff in here. And as you'll see, I had to do some shimmying around and trying some different stacking organizational techniques to get things to fit in there properly, but we got it worked out in the end. So, most of what we're actually storing in their bedroom is their collection of books. They weren't in a space to go through all of the books on this day, so we just decided to store them away in their closet so they're safe, so the cats can't get to them and mess with them. So I put as many as I could on this top shelf, and I had to put some of them in their other closet near the bathroom, which isn't ideal. I kind of wanted all of them in the same space, but we were working with the space that we had, and this is what seemed to work out best at the time. But they will certainly go through all these books at another time, but today was not that day. I was asking quite a bit of them to go through every single box out in that living space, so I totally get it. So we just put everything into the closet nicely and organized, and now they know where absolutely all of their books are. Oh, and this little rolling cart thing that's been out in this living space for forever, I had the idea to put it in their closet, and they ended up using it as like a little shoe rack thing, so that worked out really great. And this is what's left out in the living room space. We were drying some clothes on the tables and stands and whatnot, but yeah, things turned out pretty great. All right, guys, we are officially on to the last new area that you guys have not seen me clean. I was kind of putting this area off, well, A, because it wasn't that bad, and B, because I had cleaned this before, like I said, a year ago when I originally tried to help out at this place. But just a quick once over on everything over here. As you'll see, it's really not that bad. There was some wax on the counter over here, which I ended up like scraping off with a little scraper tool, but that came off pretty easy. But this section was pretty darn simple. Alright guys, that is it for my first ever marathon cleaning video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you're new to the channel, I would love it if you would consider subscribing, and I will see you guys tomorrow for more Vlogmas. Bye.